Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing tonight? For those that are tuning in on Restream, those who tune in on YouTube, and for those who uh, tune in on Facebook, and those that follow my show about TikToks under APCS895. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody is doing great. Tonight we'll be talking about gargoyles, Lechuza, and Brujas. Brujas stands for witches. That's what tonight's topic is here tonight on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I've had numerous encounters all throughout my life since I was a kid. Uh, until this day, I still encounter a lot of things from the balance. That's what happens when you maintain a heavenly love foundation. It's, it's part of the balance. You know where you stand, they know where they stand, and it happens that way. Spiritual warfare. How you doing, Andres Carizales? Hope you're doing great tonight. Fixing to share this live to where share my videos to. How you doing, brother Joel Burgers? How you doing? Good morning. Yeah, I'm doing good, brother Andres. I'm just here, just gonna have a. I was having a conversation earlier about things when I was growing up, and I just started to remember a lot of things. Sometimes when you experience things, you make a little window and just stuff whatever incident you witness and close the door. You shut the door, right? Because you don't want to remember it, you want to forget it. uh, but then eventually it opens back up and you remember what happened. So this is what this is about tonight. We'll share some stories of the gargoyle, the chusas and brujas, in which those were some of the things that were besides also shadow figures that I witnessed when I was growing up, when I was a kid. So that's the topic here tonight: gargoyles, lechuzas, and brujas. We got brother Juan Avila. How you doing? And I have the shirt on tonight from my brother, from a friend of mine, is doing a movie called Pajaro, the Raymondville Terror. Yeah, it's called Pajaro, the Raymondville Terror. This is a true incident that happened in my hometown when I was growing up. I was young when this incident happened. It was an incident where people were saying it was a bird or some kind of pterodactyl that was attacking people and stuff like that. Uh, that my friend is making a movie. He's from the my hometown, and he's making a movie of the incident that happened. I believe 1975, 1976 was a time frame somewhere around there. I think I was like 4 or 5 years old when that happened. Might have been 5 or 6. I can't remember. See, yeah, it's a true event that happened. I know y'all seen the scars that I showed on off my face. What happened to me? A lot of people were being attacked. They didn't know what was going on, but this happened for quite a bit. So people were afraid to let the kids play outside. You know, they were afraid to let the kids play outside because of this giant, pájaro. There was many different descriptions of it. You know, gotta remember one thing, brothers and sisters, is these TDNs, they can manifest to look like anything. But yes, this incident, many people got attacked. I got attacked, but I never went to the doctor. Uh, they put stuff on me that there was this because it's iodine, or sangre de chango, we call it. That's all they put on me and sent me to school after I got attacked. Uh, if I remember correctly, we were on we were on the holidays for Christmas. It's when you come back to school. We had a bad storm that came through, and they sent me to school like that. But I'll say that I'll talk about it in a few. Let me see what we got here. I doing mob rules. Mob rules. I don't, brother Law Morgan. I do. How you doing, cousin Gilbert? Yeah. Like right now, back home, it's flooded right now. We're close to the equator, but it's if there's a bad storm that comes through, it'll flood because we're close to the what do you call it? The water table, that it'll flood real quick. Think I know you've seen the news, but down where I come from, it's flooded right now in the Rio Grande Valley, and then like in Mexico, along the borders, it's flooded too from the rain that they got there. I think they got like 7 inches of rain or something like that. There was water everywhere. I'll wait for a little bit of people to jump on here. So I don't know if anybody's had an experience. I mean, I've seen a lot of things, brothers and sisters, uh, that sometimes you have to question your sanity, right? When you're witnessing the things that you're witnessing. But after witnessing so many things throughout my life, I just took it as that's my calling in life, right? Uh, then all the way back to the Curandera from Reynosa, Tamaulipas, which is flooded right now. Uh, when I was there, I guess as her little helper, when she was selling people that were being people that were sick or spiritually targeted through witchcraft or necromancy, that she had to get rid of unclean spirits or attachments that were in these people. Uh, so that's what you would do. And that's when things were already happening to me in spirit that I remember when I was a kid. When I remember myself as a little baby and certain things coming after me even then. So I guess I knew that after witnessing the things that I witnessed, I heard stories where they will find me in between mattresses and stuff like that. That they couldn't find me, but then they will find me, and I will still be alive. Like someone was trying to take me out from this world, uh, but I'm still here, right? Spiritual warfare is very real. There are some wicked people uh, that that's what they do. That's what they're about. Uh, but when I was with the curandera in Mexico, that's when I seen a lot of things. Just put it that way. When you cross, when you spiritually cross against this negative attachments, or you see them because you're innocent, you're not living in sin. When I was a kid, I could see all these things. At the same time, I knew that uh, through the heavenly angels of protection that I'm not fearing what I was seeing, right? Uh, because I knew that the heavenly Father and the heavenly angels were with me. I could feel the presence around me. So I believe that the heavenly Father, the heavenly angels was always protecting me, just like they still protect me now. Uh, Doing the good works, like what I do here in Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, where they share pictures, share a video, share a story. This is what I do. If I wouldn't be doing this right now, brothers and sisters, what I would do before is go assist people uh, that are going through something, whether it's the person themselves or a household that might be infiltrated, where they have the unseen enemy in their home. So what I do, I will go cleanse their home and protect everybody in the homes, but get rid of the unclean spirits that were intruding or invading their home. That's what I would do a lot in Killeen. Uh, People will call me because they were going through things like that, and I will go help them out. So I got married, came to Temple, and I were just uh, people that I bump into, whether they're homeless or things like that, where they have a negative attachments on them, and I get rid of the negative attachments. The person becomes normal. What I'm trying to say is sometimes some of these people, they're like demonized. It's got control over them, and the way I know that they're being bonded or demonized is because the demon that's in them will tell me something that only I know. So, in saying that, they have to identify themselves to me. So when they do that, they're identifying themselves to me that they're infiltrating that vessel. Just like some of the people that come up against me in a negative way, I already know what they're doing that because they have a negative attachment, and that's why they come at me in a negative way all the time. But they'd be hiding because if I wanted to, I can type on a rebuke it out of them, and they will be a whole completely different person, right? But I think some of these individuals they dwell in power. They think that what they're dabbling in is some kind of power, but it's really not. You know, they're being deceived. But whatever was offered to them, whatever they're reading, whatever think, whatever kind of power they might think they have, they do not have nothing. Uh, so if they're focused on things that have fallen, that are below us, well then their powers that they think they have is below us, right? Because when you have Jesus Christ, the heavenly angels, the spiritual good discernment, that's above anything that has fallen. And that's what I'm trying to say. That when I see people making threats about this or that, I don't buy into it because I already know what it's about. Spiritual warfare. Yeah, there's a lot of things that went underwater, brother Kevin, when it flooded everywhere. There's a lot of things that went underwater. Many cities went underwater. I doing under fire. Let me look at the comments here. Yeah, but spiritual warfare, I've been fighting this for a very long time. All my life, you know. I guess once uh, my brother got healed, because that's what I was. I went to Reynosa. It was if my brother got healed, and now I have to stay with this medicine woman for about I don't know how long I was there with her, but I was a kid. I was only 3. I think I might have been with her for 6 months or more. I don't know. Um, can't remember. I was too young, but I remember being with her. Uh, she would take care of me, and I would see all the people that she will heal. That would come daily. They would come daily because they were going through things. I seen her pull barbed wire, pieces of glass, scorpions, spiders, snakes, black goose stuff out of people, uh, worms. I mean, all kinds of stuff out of people. Some from the head, some from the stomach, and then for the people that are really, how should I say, they had more than one. Sometimes I will see this dark shadow spirits, which I call the DDN or demonic beings, come out of people. They were seriously, they were seriously being overwhelmed or being spiritually targeted, and I will see them use the energy of her hands to get the dark shadow spirits or unclean spirits out of the people, and I will see them come out of the people. Every part she touched where the person was hurting, a dark entity will come out, and I could see them standing by the wall. And she would ask me, "Are they gone?" I just pointed there by the wall. She would look towards the wall, and then she would tell them to leave. Then I'll see them walking, just leaving out of the hut. And she said, "Are they gone? Are they gone?" And I will go like this, just say yes with my head, and I'll point out that they went out the hut. But yes, spiritual warfare is very real. I wouldn't have said at a very young age. Which after helping out so many people, my brother got healed. She found out who was a person that did the wrong to my brother, which in Spanish is called a maldad. She found out who it was that did the wrong to my brother, and she sent it back to the sender. The person that she sent it to was a dark witch. She was a head witch, a dark witch of an area, of a certain area, right? That's the person that wished death upon my brother. My brother, before we went over there to see her, doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He had high fevers. He had too many high fevers, and the doctor was saying that he was gonna most likely die because of the high fevers. They couldn't find a cure for him, so that they couldn't help us out no more. But then we got help from this medicine woman from Mexico. She said she could heal him, but to bring him to him, and that was the deal that I had to stay with her. So he got healed. I seen how she healed him with it was with an egg. She had an open flame and started rubbing this egg on my brother from head to toe. The things that was happening to my brother with the high fevers is he was hallucinating. He was seeing snakes, spiders, jumping on the bed, on the couch, because he said they were all over the ground. So they had done wish spat upon him. But I seen when he got healed, and all the fever went away, the fevers that he was getting went away, and the hallucinations went away. And I seen my brother leave with my mother, but I stayed there with a medicine woman, you know, and that's what I did. Oh yeah, because what they wished upon my brother was death. So the medicine woman said that she was going to send it back to the sender, and she knew the name of the person too. She I seen it when she said to go back to the sender, ordered those. Uh, there was something there, some kind of entity. The what I witnessed, what happened to the egg is when she told the entity that was afflicting my brother to go into the egg, the the yolk of the egg, right into the egg. When she cracked the egg, I seen a black, looked like a black chick, baby chick. They came out of it with a broken wing and a broken leg, uh, in which there was a maldad, the wrong that he did to my brother. Then my brother walked with a limp when he had his arm like this. Um, she healed him when she did that and sent it back to the sender, in which the person that did that to my brother passed away because it went back dying 17th fold. Since we're talking about gargoyles, lechuzas, and brujas, so sometimes the witches they summon demons or familiars to go after people, to keep an eye on the people they're trying to do wrong to, right? They'll send a familiar, or they'll send uh, uh, another witch or other peoples of their little convent or whatever to go after people. That's what they do. Um, all I know is that dark witch that was in charge, she died. But this medicine woman, brothers and sisters, she was a very strong medicine woman, uh, a healer. That's what she was, a healer. She could heal. She had the spiritual ability of healing by touching her hands. When people say the touching of hands, well, she could literally heal by touching of hands. That wherever she laid her hands on, whatever part of the body uh, the person was hurting from or sick from, she lay her hands on the part of the body, and the person will be healed. That's how strong of a healer she was. She was a very old lady. Uh, she wore the garments of. She was from the 1800s, I believe, the late 1800s, or I don't know. I don't know if she was old when I was three. She was already old, so she had to be somewhere from the 1800s. Um, and she wore white. She even wore the bullets like an X across, because she would go heal when there was those revolutions and those they would be fighting. She would go heal the people that were wounded out there on the floor. I believe she even had a bullet on her hip, where she would walk with a limp. So, yeah, she was a very strong medicine woman. Um, I remember going to the market with her, and people were running away from her, and I was like, man, I'm talking about kids, grown ups. They're running away from her. At that point in time, I didn't understand why they were running away from her. Uh, she's like, "How come everybody is afraid of me? How come everybody runs away from me?" Then she looked at me and she said, "Are you afraid of me?" And I said, I looked at her. I was a little boy. Said, "Love you." That's what I said, "Love you." And then she gave me a little hug, and then she looked at me. "Are you sure you're not afraid of me?" And then she lifted her patch off her eye. She didn't have no eye; it was a hole. And then she said, "Are you afraid of me now?" And I grabbed her from the leg again, and I said, "Love you." And she just rubbed my head. You know, I think she had bought me candy or something. I can't remember. But she like making frijoles fritos, refried beans, smashed smashed beans with homemade corn tortillas. She would put them in a taco for me, make me little tacos of beans. Uh, the times that I was there with her, she was always taking care of me. She never did nothing bad towards me. Yeah, it's something she was looking out for me. Uh, well, after the 17th foot went back to the sender, um, after the 17th foot went back to the sender, the rest of the convent came. Uh, yes, uh, the rest of the convent came. I remember she had two rooms. The first room when you walk in, and then the second room was where she would do work. She had like a little altar where she relayed her patients, and then she had a flame on the ground, right? A hole in the ground. The floor was made out of dirt. There was no wood or brick. It was like a hut, you know. You know how they make the huts with straw, and they would put mud, kind of like that, right? That's how it was. And I remember one night, it was late at night, like around, let's say, 2:30 or 3 in the morning. You know that time frame. And I wake up and I'm looking over there to where she's got her bed, and she's not there. Then I hear somebody saying something in the other room, uh, like somebody saying something, like they're arguing, like somebody's arguing. So I go and I see her standing blocking the door, and she's telling something. "No, you cannot come in." And as I got closer to her, I could because I could understand Spanish. They were asking her, "Give us the boy, uh, give us to him, give us the boy." So I went up beside her and I looked to see who she was talking to. Stuck my head a little bit out, and they see me. The lechuzas and the brujas. The brujas were all just in black, and you can see the lechuzas. When we talk about harpies, uh, the manifestation that a bruja takes. They were on top of the trees. There was a bunch of them. You could hear them scratching their talons. They're scratching their talons, and then they were whispering or chanting, whatever you want to call it. And you could hear the other ones looking at each other. The ones all dressed in black, and they're saying something in a different language. And they're telling her, "Give us the boy. If you give us a boy, we won't do nothing to you. We just want him. We want vengeance of what happened to our head witch. Wanted vengeance." So they literally wanted her to give, you know, to surrender me to them. And they were just pacing back and forth. And she said, "No, he's with me." Uh, and then I could feel the presence of the heavenly angels around me and stuff like that. So it became like a spiritual warfare. They were just going back and forth. She was praying, and it was a back and forth thing. It was a lot of them to two of us, right? And they were trying to overtake her, but she was very strong spiritually, so they couldn't overtake her. So we fought from like 3 in the morning all the way to like around 5:30 when the sun's fixing to rise. By then, they left during the darkness, and then it started getting brighter and brighter. And then they even tried during the day to trick me because I'll be out there playing uh, on the dirt. They'll be coming during the day, trying as a regular woman, right? They'll be like, "Hey, you want some candy? Come with me." They're calling me to go with them. They would come to me during the day. Uh, and some of them were very, very. They look pretty, right? But they're trying to get me to go with them. So I look at them and I'll go inside the. I would look. I would go inside the hut because I didn't trust them. It's like they were trying to take me because they kept on coming after me. So every time a woman called me or tried to lure me with candy, a banana, or an apple, I wouldn't go to them. I'll go inside back with, and she would look at me. Is everything okay? And I'll go like that. That there's somebody out there. So by the time we go there to look, there's nobody there anymore because they took off. I think one time she seen her and I pointed her out. She was trying to hide, and she seen her and she said something to her, and I pointed the. This is during the day. I pointed the bruja, right? That was there infiltrating, trying to trick me to take me. That happened numerous times, um, but she protected me uh, till that day that my mother came to pick me up. You know, I seen a woman crying. I didn't know what she was crying, and it was my mother. I have, like I said, I don't know how long I was there. I have forgotten her. How she looked, and then she said, "It's me," and she says, I'm your mother, your mom." I'm just looking at her, and then that's when she wanted to go talk to the medicine woman. She gave us some little jars, jarritos, with one for each of my brothers and sisters. Uh, and this one I came back to the States. Yeah, we had no money. We were poor. We had no money. The doctors didn't want to. They're not going to help us if we had no money, even if they had a cure for it. What was happening to my brother? But thank God the medicine woman helped out. She knew a lot of things that were to come. She can prophesize the future. She knew things. So imagine that. So for the bruja that keeps on messing with me, you don't know nothing. That's all I can tell you right now. And you know who you are. A DO. You don't know nothing. You don't know what you're dealing with. That's all I can tell you right now. Keep on playing the games that you're playing. It's gonna come around and bite you in the ass, like it did to the head witch back in the day. I'm giving you a warning because a 7 times fold. That's how it works. I do not have to do nothing. It just happens that way. Yeah, there's people that pretend that they're wicked, that they're evil, that they can do these things, and you just don't know. You just don't know what wicked is. I've seen it, and I've crossed paths with it. I know what wicked is. I know this negative energy is what they do, but I'm here as a person trying to help out my brother and sister spiritually to awaken to be able to fight these unseen forces, not to give power to. In order for someone to be able to fight spiritually, they have to get on the right path, brothers and sisters, to be able to fight spiritually against them. Oh yeah, I was around all that. You know, my not just me, my brother and sisters. When I came back, things were happening. They still had the vendetta, and they came to us where I lived in the Rio Grande Valley. Every Saturday they would show up because they wanted vengeance. But there was a higher power for protecting not just me but my brothers and sisters. Oh yeah, there's one thing about Bruja. They'll try to uh, deceive you with a smile and trying to be kind to you and all that, but deep within, the spirit knows the spirit. You see, and we've seen this some of these people that are like this, right? Uh, for those who've been following me, Do Dana Ortega, she's like that. Bruja, uh, trying to just trying to be kind to me, trying to tell me about scripture and all that. But then she started stumbling, and I started seeing that she was using scripture as a form to do witchcraft. That's why I friended her off my friends list, and I figured her out a long time ago. I try to warn everybody about her, but that's spiritual warfare. I'm able to capture things of I'm able to capture things on video. If I take a picture, because um, I'm blessed with the spiritual gifts of discernment, I'm able to see things that somebody normal cannot see, or because I can sense it spiritually, brothers and sisters. Brother Joel said he used to live by a witch. Let me show you a thing of show you something here. Of I believe this is might have been something that somebody might have sent my way. That somebody sent my way. I think I got a show reel of it. Let me share it with y'all. Yeah, do a little intermission of showing some picture, some show reels here, if I'm allowed to show it. Okay, let's show this show reel. What I'm talking about. This one is looking at me sideways, and then it turns its head all the way around. Looks like a giant owl, what a bruja manifesto, like a lechuza, but this is bigger than that. So uh, when you think about owls, you think about Lilith. So let's share this short reel that I got here, and then I'll continue on with my story. Here we go, y'all. Let me know what you think about that. You see it turn its head. That's in the afternoon. That's pretty huge, ain't it? There you go. It's turning. It turns its head. It's turning its head right there. Look. See, it's right here sideways. Like if you look at it here sideways, it would look like what people might call a Bigfoot. Right, sideways. It goes from sideways to this. But you seen it. Y'all seen it turn its head. Watch. Sideways. It's turning, 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 and turns all the way from one side to the other. I mean, there you go. So you can get a close image of it where it's turning its head. It's even got like a beak right here in the center. The beak. That's a pretty tall one. Let me look at the comments. I took it off. How you doing, Sister Madeline? How you doing, Runner? Oh yeah, brother Joe. Oh, that's huge. Very tall. Yes, definitely over 10 foot tall. It's I think I got the regular pictures. You can see how tall it truly is because that right there was a close up. Let me see if I can show you the regular show reel of it. Let me find it. Okay. Now y'all gonna freak out with this. If you want to see the regular videos, you can see its true height. I got it. I got the true height of this. What you want to call it, a dark shadow figure, disembodied DDN, Lechuza. Is huge. This is the regular footage, and you're gonna see how tall it truly is. Because what I was showing you was a close up. Brother Law Morgan said his chat was frozen. So here we go. The regular footage, brothers and sisters. I'm playing up, brothers and sisters. Believe. Oh, right here. My hair's already stood up, brothers and sisters.
I feel something here.
And there it is.
From this area. This is the open space where the thing was hovering. Came from the believe. Oh, right here. My hair's already stood up, brothers and sisters. I feel something here.
Look how tall the sucker is. This is how far I was really from, but I just did a close up. That's a good distance right there. I would say that's like 50 feet, 60 feet from that area, like 50 yards, should I say? 40, 30, yeah, like 40 to 50 yards. There it is. That's how tall it is. You'll seen it at the beginning. There it is. There it is. I was looking sideways.
Believe. Oh,
There it turns its head.
right here. My hair's already stood up, brothers and sisters. I feel something here. From this area. This is the open space where the thing was hovering.
There you go, folks. Yeah, it's huge. See, I trust my instinct, spiritual instincts. They're always very keen. If I'm sensing something or feeling something, it's because there's something there. You know, that's how I capture the images that I capture using when I sense something, I sense where I'm feeling something. I just angle the camera because I'm doing a live feed, right? So I just angle the camera to where I'm feeling something, and that's how I capture them using my spiritual senses. Yeah, that's a big one. That was that's pretty tall, pretty massive, real tall. But you see, it makes a big difference when you see the full picture compared to when you do a zoom in on it. But the when you're in a distance, you're able to see its true height, which is very it's taller than when you zoom in. When you zoom in, it kind of like you can still see it, but it doesn't. You don't think it's big, right? Because you're zooming in on it. But when you see the full picture, you see how tall it truly is. Well, yeah, I could sense something there, uh, brother Joel. So when I was moving the camera back and forth, it's because that's where I sensed that something was there in that area. That's why I kept on keeping the camera where I was feeling the the negative energy, and that's how I was able to capture it. And I stayed, even though I couldn't see it visually, I stayed long enough pointing the camera to be able to even see it move. You know, imagine that. This I'm not seeing nothing visually, but the spirit is sensing something moving there or something there. Uh, Always trust in your spiritual instincts; it will guide you. Just like I always say, always maintain a heavenly love foundation, because that's what you need to overcome these things. Is a love foundation. You're like, what does a love foundation have to do anything with fighting these things? I said, well, you're not going to fight them physically. Uh, you're not going to fight them with anger because that's a spiritual opening. They're in spirit form. You're not going to defeat them by believing in them. Uh, you're not going to defeat it if you have unforgiveness in your heart. The only way you can overcome it is through Jesus Christ with a heavenly love foundation. That's what I was doing there. But I was looking around to see if I would see anything move visually, because there's times that I see him move visually, like see movement, and if I would have seen any kind of movement, I would have aimed. But for some reason, I was drawn to that area, and I kept the camera angling that area. So I showed a little picture. Now let's continue on with the story. I had to take a little intermission. You don't want to say everything that you got to say right off the bat. So we left off that when I came back to the States, when I was a kid, from the curandera, that my mom brought me back. Every Saturday night, the same lechuzas and brujas, witches, right? Lechuzas and witches that were with the curandera trying to take me, they would come to my house in the valley uh, because they wanted vengeance. So they would come. They'll be by the side of the house from the trees that we had by the side of our house around 10:30 at night. You could hear them. It's like our mom would get us all in a little circle in the middle of the room because she had spiritual senses also. And she said, "Do y'all hear that?" And we couldn't hear nothing at first. Next thing you know, you could hear, the sounds that the lechuza would do with the talons. And then she'll be like, "Do y'all hear that?" And we're like looking at each other because all my brother and sisters are in the little huddle, but she's trying to protect us. She got the door locked and everything. Next thing you know, you hear the brujas laughing. You can hear them laughing, like laughing from the side of our home. Next thing where she's praying, and then I'll be like, I think they're gone, and then you hear the talons again. They hear them laughing. Then you hear children running around the house laughing, which we know is not children because what the lechuzas and the brujas are doing, they're chanting, they're summoning things to come mess with us. So we're hearing children running around outside our home, what is not children, and then we start hearing bangings on the walls. Our house was on pillars because of the flooding that we have in the Rio Grande Valley. So it was cement pillars, that the house was on. So she's praying and we're there. You start hearing scratching sounds on the windows and banging sounds on the walls. Uh, the doorknob wiggling, banging on the door, like pounding. My mom's praying because all this is happening at once. Everything that I'm mentioning is happening simultaneously. So all this is happening outside. Then you start hearing somebody running on top of the roof, back and forth. right? You're hearing everything at once, the bangings, the scratching, somebody running on top of the roof. Then you start hearing somebody banging underneath the house where you're standing 3 times. Everywhere you moved, you could feel the we had a wooden floor. You could feel it, the pounding sounds. Three bangings. Everywhere you stepped, it was like it was following you. It knew where you were stand. So we got the witches laughing, the lechuzas making the talent sounds and whispering something. You got the wiggling of the doors, the banging of the doors, banging on the walls, banging on the windows, pounding underneath the house, running on top of the roof. Then you have something else happen. If that's not enough for you, we're there praying. Then you hear somebody running in the house from the last room to the front room where we're in the little huddle, and they would stop right there by the entrance to that room. Boom. And they'll start running back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. You can hear running, going back and forth, and we're praying, and everything is simultaneously. And you think that's bad, if you think that's not enough, uh, the other thing that will happen is you're hearing somebody running back and forth, flying dishes. Dishes start getting thrown in the kitchen, breaking from her where she washes her dishes. They're being thrown by an unseen force, breaking, glass breaking, fork, spoons, knife, everything flying. So we're praying and praying. Then all of a sudden, my dad will show up because he was at church. When he would show up, everything that was happening would just stop. But this is something that happened for years, brothers and sisters. That will happen every Saturday. Every Saturday. It happened since I came back, all the way till I was like around 11 years old. 10 or 11. I think it's, yeah, I was already, uh, I was in Little League. So like all the way till I was 11 years old, from like around 4. That's a lot of years. This thing would happen every Saturday at our house. You want to call it paranormal activity? I'll just say that it was the Lechuzas and the Brujas that were doing this kind of activity. They were the cause behind that. Say, okay. Let me take a little sip of water. Hey, you got any questions for me? You can ask them. What I'm sharing with you. This is true events that happened there when I was growing up. My cousin Gilbert got to witness some events also because when something has happened in the area, there's always negative. How should I say? Negative feedback. There's always something that stays, right? Especially when you've been fighting spiritually for a very long time. You could say negative residue stays back, in which there's still activity that happens, regardless of when it happened. There was still negative activity that happened. That's what we had. We haven't had Palm Sunday crosses on all the windows that were blessed by the Father, on the windows, on the doorways, and still there were, it was very overwhelming. But you got to remember one thing, brothers, sisters, that fear is a spiritual opening. If I had, I finally got tired, and I made a spiritual stance against that. Uh, I don't, cousin Mario. Primo Jesse will not be here till Thursday. So I'm going solo for till Thursday till he, that's when he told me he'll be doing a live on Thursday. Yeah, there was a lot of activity there, a lot of activity in that house. But it was dealing with that, with the Brujas, and of course, if there's people that they're dabbling in things or trying to study black magic or something, right? That leaves open portals, right? Because if somebody was practicing something, that's what that does. In which you get all kinds of activity like this as unsurreal that you have to be there to say, okay, this is legit. I'm hearing all this stuff. Get me out of here. It's because you start getting scared, right? That's a spiritual opening. So activity is going to get worse if you don't make a spiritual stance. So it was, if I knew what I know then, what I know now, I would have say, you're not welcome here. Leave our house. A tie banner because Jesus Christ. Fact that those witches and the lechuzas would have left. I would throw rocks at them and hit them while they were on the trees. I would bang them up with caliche. I was a pitcher when I was in little league, so I would hit them. I mean, you couldn't miss them. They were huge on the branches. I will hit them. You could hear the thuds, and you just hear them go. Uh, they'll make a noise like where I hit them. I'll hit them in the lechuzas in the head. I'll hit them on the body real hard, as hard as I could throw a rock. At that age, I would hit them hard. So imagine this. After that encounter, imagine me going to the store the following day, which will be a Sunday. I'll go to the store and I go to the next aisle because I was always running into the brujas, to the witches. Just like when I was in Mexico, I ran into them. They were trying to deceive me. I could be in the grocery store and there'll be an old lady that's all banged up, looking at me real ugly with a black eye, lip busted, um, bandages all over her body in a sling, and she looking at me trying to wish something bad upon me. And I said, "Oh, so you're the one that got the hit by those rocks because she was in the manifestation of the lechuza. So she's the one. She was looking at me real mean. So I know what she's looking at me mean because she was the one that was on that tree and I was letting it rip with the caliche rocks. Yeah, she would be all banged up, cuts all over the place. They wasn't attached to the land or the house. It was just as they were coming after me. If you were here at the beginning of the story, uh, what I was sharing was something that started originally in Mexico, and it followed me to the United States to where I live. So dealing with my brother that was sick, a medicine woman healed him. Yeah, well, that's one thing. For anybody here that's been through anything, even physical abuse, right? Eventually, after a while, after being hit so many times, right? What happens? You get used to it, right? You get used to it. So after me seeing the lechuzas and the brujas doing this every Saturday, I got used to it. In which I wasn't fearing them. I would literally go outside and tell them to leave the yard, but I wasn't the head of the household, right? They wouldn't listen to me. I would tell them to leave. They wouldn't leave. So I hit them with rocks. The caliche, boom. Um, but yeah, once it becomes old, right? It was something that's been happening for years. You get used to it, and the fear goes out of the window. No matter what noise that they're making or what manifestations they're taking, fear is out of the equation. So you're like, hey, get the f out of here. You know, leave. You don't welcome here. It's oh, you don't want to listen. Hit them with the rocks. All that stopped when I made my stance against them was out of the darkness. My grandmother comes out because her grandmother lived next to us, and she said, "What's going on? I hear you yelling at something. What are you yelling at?" And I told my grandmother, "La lechuzas, la brujas, that are right there." And I pointed up to her, so she went up to the edge of the house, and she was seeing the lechuza that I had banged up with a rock. She said something to him. Next thing you know, all of them fly away, and that's the last time that they ever came to my house. I don't know what my grandmother said to them or what, but that was the last time they ever showed up at her house. My grandmother came from the side of the home, and she told me, she looked directly at me, and she said, "You truly not afraid of them, are you?" I said, "No, I'm not. God is with me." And then she said, "Go tell your mom." She said her call her by her first name. Tell her that I took care of it. And then she went back to her house. That was the last time they ever came to torment us or anything like that. Those witches. But like I said, when they're chanting something or trying to summon something, you get they leave portals open and stuff like that. Some of the other activity that were happening during the night was in the morning in our backyard on the fence. Cats that were hung from the neck, hanging from the fence, gutted open with all the guts sticking out. The cats were all black cats. Every cat that was hung on those fence were black cats, and there was a time frame that uh, those things were happening. Strange things like that would always happen. So I will go tell my neighbor because their house had a bunch of cats, and he's like, somebody killed one of my cats, and he would get the cat and he would just put it in the trash or in a dumpster. So every time I would find a cat that was cut it down the center, I would tell him so he can get it because some people say that they probably were leaving the dead cat there as a marker, if somebody's sending somebody something our way for it to affect us, right? Like a spiritual marker. But we would get rid of the dead black cat that was so many that were found there hanging. I can count how many. You know, for you all you cat lovers, I'm sorry. It's I had nothing to do with me, but I found a lot of dead black cats hanging on that fence all throughout my lifetime. Many black cats. There was one that was rabid that tried to attack me. He was on top of the mesquite tree, going back and forth. You could see his eyes were white. Rabies were coming out of his mouth, and he go trying to come at me. Then they told me to move back slowly. I moved back slowly, and my neighbor killed it because the cat was rabid. You know, foam coming out of the mouth, and their eyes were white. a rabid cat. Now the question is this: was the cat rabid or was it possessed? Because I've seen people like that, eyes wide, foam coming out of their mouth when they're possessed. Right? I think it speaks about that in the Bible when Jesus Christ casted many people that were possessed. But my neighbor would take it out because he said, "Oh, he's got rabies." But what if there was a unclean spirit in the cat, made him act that way? If you like the story, what I'm telling y'all, hit the like button. Your grandma was very spiritual, brother Joel Burgers. Yes. Oh man, I would run into a lot of crazy stuff. I see Gargoyle up there. I could save that story for last, but it's all affiliated because Lechuzas, which are Brujas, they summon certain things. The things that they summon come: demons, gargoyles, shadow figures, familiars. They come to do their bidding because they have a deal with them. So that's why there's so many manifestations of the things everywhere. But you want to think about it as an open portal. Yeah, could be an open portal that never closed there. Uh, Nobody lives. That house is not. That land doesn't belong to me. We're talking about my brothers and sisters no more. Thank God. It belongs to a location where my father is in a retirement or some kind of home, some kind of nursing home. It belongs to them now. So they 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 sure got themselves a crazy deal, if you know what I mean, with all the activity that happens in that area, or yeah, in that property. Oh yeah, yeah. He that before I had an uncle that came from Colorado, and he was dabbling in the dark arts when he came afterwards. After the incidents that happened when I was a kid, he came from Colorado with his family, and he was staying like we only had literally 2 rooms because they let him stay in the other 2 rooms. So the house wasn't fully ours, right? Because they let him stay there with his family. But when he came, man, there was some crazy stuff that happened to him because he was dabbling in the dark arts, reading black magic. I think he was reading the black magic book or something like that, and was be careful. Listen to me when I say this because I've seen it happen to him. Be careful what you dabble in because one of the things that I know is he didn't want to finish reading that book. When he opened it, he read a couple of pages. After that, the demons wouldn't let him rest till he finished reading the black magic book. They wouldn't let him rest. They would come for him. Uh, it's some of the activity that happened to him. It was a big man too, weighed like 300 and something pounds. There was times we'll be all asleep, and then we'll hear like a big old thump, bah, on top of the roof. I'll get the ladder, climb the ladder to see what's happening on top of the roof, because the ladder will be on the ground. There'll be no ladder there, right? So I place a ladder, go look what's going on. And my uncle would be laid out on top of the roof, wrapped around in a in thick rope. Like he's wrapped up in his arms, his feet, like hogtied on top of the roof. And he would say that the lechuzas, harpies, that they were trying to take him. Or sometimes he would say the demons would come trying to take him, but he was too heavy, so they couldn't lift him, so they would drop him. There was times that my grandmother was diabetic, and my aunt would come give her shots in the morning. Every time she had an Impala, it was a green Impala. I think of like a 1974 or six. It was an Impala she had. It was long, it's color green. And every time she put it on reverse to back up, she couldn't back up. She would go look. My uncle would be wrapped around, hog-tied with a rope, and it'll be underneath in the back tires, underneath her vehicle. And you'll be yelling, like they're trying to kill me. The las brujas, las witches, trying to kill me. They will find him behind the tires, underneath the car, and he was a big man. It was like, how the hell did he get underneath there? You know, uh, he'll be all messed up, scratched up. So in this shirt, it's got the picture of the pájaro, but then I got this in the back. I don't know if you can see that. That's what the lechuzas do. Come and try to claw you, try to scratch you in the face, scratch you in the eyes, scratch you wherever, in the back. Oh yeah, there was always something rocking on top of the roof, cousin Gilbert. But that uncle, he's already been long gone. He's deceased. May he rest in peace. But that's what happens when you dabble in the dark arts, right? These things they want you to be fully committed, 100% committed, because they want to take what rightfully is yours, which is your soul. Said I've seen a lot of things throughout my lifetime. So when I see somebody using Bible verses to wish hexes on people because they're using verses of the Bible to try to do somebody bad, right? There's a certain individual that does that. Tries to use verses from the Bible to do bad upon people. Being a bruja. Let me give you a demonstration of what I'm talking about. Let me find this. So while I'm finding it, I'm going to share the most current. Let me see. I'm going to share the current video, the most current short I created. I created one today, I believe. Let me see. I can find it. You probably already seen it through the pictures, but I created a short reel of it because I think it was pretty interesting. So let me see if I can find it, and I'll share it with y'all. Okay, here you go. Let me share this. Share this with y'all. from one of my most current short reels that I created. Doing this one for a while. Alrighty. See some of the comments here. Thank you, Lois Angel. Yeah, that one I seen it move to the side. I submit. I was like, I was, recording. I see something brown move to the side. It moved very, very rapidly. So I knew I had got something because I was recording. So when I see the movement move fast, I said, I think I even said on the video, I'm gonna make a short reel of it where I say, I think I just seen something. I think that's what I said. I swear I seen something brown move to the side. I think something like that. I'll make a short reel of it so y'all can see it. Um, when we're talking about Brujas, some of them infiltrate the religion, church, and stuff like that. This is an example of indirect, like it's witchcraft using trying to use God's words. Here it is. Let me share it with you. Let me go to it first. Get out of here. Okay. Okay, let me catch up to the comments. Or good night, cousin. Is that better? Yeah, I think I didn't know that the music was playing on the video. Yeah, I fixed it. Let me make sure I fixed it. Yeah, but it's corrected now. So I'm gonna share with y'all. Yeah, that's what it was. I looked up there and there was sound on the video, so I took it off. Good night, Primo Gilbert. So I'm gonna show you what this lady that been giving me problems, right? Because she's a bad person. This is something that somebody that dabbles in the dark arts and pretends that they try to use religion against you. This is what she said one time. I'm gonna share that with you. Here's what she said. This is a witch trying to use things within the Bible to benefit her, wishing bad upon somebody. Her name is Dana Ortega. She says, "God, please don't have any mercy for them. Is my prayer." That's wishing bad towards anybody. I'm not as nice as Barden, but this is what they put in my heart. No, it's what you have in your heart is wickedness and hatred because that's what you dwell in. You wouldn't wish bad upon nobody if you were a person of God. Then she says, I go by James chapter 2. For those that have shown no mercy shall obtain no mercy. So basically, she goes into the Bible and grabs certain things to benefit her for doing wrongdoings. No, wicked people in which her prayers will not be answered because we have to go through Jesus Christ to make it into the kingdom of heaven. So whatever prayer she's doing is unanswered because you have to go through Jesus Christ. He is our protector and avenger. But she here is wishing bad towards people, in which it can go back to her seven-tithe fold because the Heavenly Father protects his children. I'll just give you an example of this lady that's been trying to been harassing me because I friended her off my friends list because I felt that she was an evil person doing bad things, trying to start stuff. Here's an example of that. Let me get her out of the picture now. Just giving an example of wicked people. Yeah, delusional is the word, but that's what they do, And sometimes when they're saying God, they're not meaning the Heavenly Father. They're not meaning Jesus Christ. What they're meaning is what they worship, right? The devil, Lucifer, Satan. That's what she truly worships. I think I got footage of what she truly worships because she totally forgets about God or Jesus Christ. I don't think I've ever seen her even talk about Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's how you can tell. Imagine getting all kinds of verses in the middle of the night, like at 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm like, why is she sending me stuff at 3 in the morning? Then I really look into it and say, she's trying to cast a spell on me by saying all these things to come up against me. So, I will type binary rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. Then I'll friend her off my friends list because I didn't need somebody on my friends list that's a bruja wishing bad upon people. How you doing, cousin Jesus? Jesse. Yeah, yeah. Very wicked, wicked person, individual. And those people, they think that they have control of a scenario or control of something, right? Because they think they have some kind of power, which causes her to be delusional and crazy. She just likes me because I figured her out a long time ago. I was one of the first people to unfriend her off my friends list. Then I started telling everybody about her. Hey, be careful with her. There's something not right with her. She's no good. Be careful. It seems to me that she's up to good. I feel she's a bruja, and I was right. I was right about her. That's when she comes at me in a negative way because I figured her out, and then everybody else started figuring her out. Very wicked person. Yeah, I think there was a. Yeah, she got some serious issues. I mean, man, we're almost on the hour and 32 minutes. Wow. I can share another video with you for right now. Let me see what else I got. I'm still working on some other photos. I think did I share? No, I haven't shared. I still got to create some more short reels. Let me see what short reels I got here. Yeah, this is the one I created yesterday. Let me share this one. This one is from yesterday. I created a short reel out of it. This is a different one. I'll share it with y'all. You can see several of them there. They're everywhere in this picture. Let me fast forward it to that part where yeah, right here. There's several of them. There's one here low to the ground. There's one here. There's one here, and there's one here. When you hear verses of the Bible that say that there are many, when they talk about the legion, well, I was just trying to show that it's making it seem like it's one thing, like one silhouette of something standing, but it's more than one. That it's making it look like it's just one, but it's more than one. If you're really looking to this picture, there's more than one there in this picture, but it looks like one in the distance, like right here in the distance. You look at that, you can see a silhouette of something, but when you see the close up, it's more than one. They use Mother Nature, you know, kind of like elementals. They use Mother Nature for to disguise themselves, not trying to give their position away. Okay, okay, I'll stop sharing this one. I'll go back to y'all on restream. Yeah, no, listen. I have a story of the gargoyle, so I would like to share in a few. I'm gonna just share it right now so I can finish it out with a bang. Oh, I see the evil person. No, that's a bruja. Oh, a wannabe bruja. She's like the Temu bruja, low budget bruja, the Temu brujas. Okay, here we go. I mean, I don't want to do too late of a live. It's not the same having not having cousin Jesse here, but I'm a trooper and I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna share the encounter I had with what happened to me when I was first grade. So I had to be like 6 years old. 6 years old. I was dealing with this shirt, the Pajaro, the Removille Terror. Has to be with this incident that happened in 1975 or 76. It's one of those two dates, years, 75 or 76. There was a bad storm that was coming in that was going to flood the Rio Grande Valley, just like it's flooded over there right now. There was a storm coming through. This is right after. I'm believing it's right after uh, being on vacation for the. I don't know. All I know is we hadn't gone to school for a while, so it'd been, I don't know, it was summertime or when it happened. But all I know, it was a day that we're supposed to go back to school. Like the week before that happened. Well, it was that weekend when we were supposed to go back to school. So we didn't want to be caught up with the bad storm that was coming through. So we decided to go to our friend's house that live out on the ranch towards Hargill and San Manuel. They live in between there, where there's a rest area. There was a dirt road, so that's like 20 something miles that we traveled to go to the ranch. We got by the dirt road. It was already raining. Uh, it was raining pretty hard. It's nighttime. They told us to go over there to their house. So we start traveling down the road, and there's like a little swamp on each side of the dirt road, and the water's crossing over the road. So we stopped. We had a station wagon, and we had the highlights We had the lights on. It was a green station wagon we had at the time. Uh, so in the middle of the road, you see a a fish, a big fish, just flapping around in the middle of the dirt road. You can see the water going over the road. So I get all excited and I get off the vehicle and I run towards the fish and I grab the fish. It was a big fish. And the only thing I could think of, any kid would be like a fish fry. So I got the fish and then my father gets off and he's come in and he grabs a fish and as we're there with the fish standing in the rain and the high beams of the station wagon hitting us, over here is a noise beside us, like a screeching sound, a real loud screeching sound. So I look to my left, mind you, I'm like 6 years old. I look to my left, and all I see is in the middle of the swamp. There's a tree stump. How you doing, brother Judge Turner? There's a tree stump in the middle of the swamp. As I'm seeing the tree stump there, there's something sitting on the tree stump. It's got talons with sharp claws. It's like sitting there with his claws like this on the side of the going downward on the stump. The only thing I see is when I talk about gargoyle, I see this thing there that is midnight black, pitch black. What's weird about it is the texture of the wings is the same texture as from head to toe. The body has the same texture of the wings, in which it will make it probably fast, right? Uh, and is making us in a ugly sound towards us. His head looked human-like, but the shape round, but it was black from the face. You could see red eyes looking at us, and he had sharp teeth, and he's making this strange screech at us, like it's mad because I got the fish. So when I see it and I start walking away with the fish, it makes the sound again real loud, and it just goes straight up in the air real fast. I run to the station wagon, grab the fish, put it in the station wagon with me, and we go through the road, the road where the water, it's real slippery. We crossed that, and we started heading. We still got like another mile to go to make it, or half a mile to go to make it to the ranch. As we're going to the ranch, just hear something scratch the top of the station wagon, and it flies real fast in front of us. Then you don't see it no more. So we're driving, and it's real muddy. Next thing you know, it comes to the side of the station wagon. It's as long as the station wagon, and you can see its face looking at me, and it's making that ugly screeching sound with the sharp teeth. And it starts hitting us, boom. And every time it hits us, we slide. That's how big it is. It keeps on hitting us, trying to knock us off the road into the ditch. It's hitting us and hitting us, and my father's fighting the steering wheel, but he's trying to knock us off the road because it's real muddy. So we finally make it to our friend's house, and we drive up because you have to drive inland to get to the ranch. So we're driving to the ranch. We get there real scared. We get off the vehicle real fast, and we open the doors, and we were all run inside, and we were seeing it still flying out there. It was like pissed off, and we're telling them what happened. We're telling them that what happened, how it looked, and everything. And the man, his name was Chewy, and he said, I figured by all the times that you come over here and visit us, that you would have encountered the demon of the area. Demon, gargoyle, same thing, right? He said that we would have already encountered. He said that area where it attacked us, that it's where it resides, that's where it lives. So that the swamp area was where, I guess the story goes to where there was a bruja, a witch. Before she died, she summoned them, right? She summoned this demon or gargoyle, whatever you want to call it. She summoned it, and till this day, they say that this thing that I witnessed, or the thing that attacked, well, I'll tell you in a moment. That till this day, still people still witness it out there, flying around all throughout the Rio Grande Valley. Let me look at the comments because the story is not over yet. Let me see. Man, am I way behind on the comments? I think I lost the track of the comments here. I think I seen when Brother Josh Turner came in. Yeah, there you go. So we waited all weekend because we're freaking, scared of what we witnessed. We waited for Sunday. We stayed there from a Friday all the way to a Sunday. Uh, we left when the sun was out. We had to go past the swamp area and everything. We're looking, but we're not seeing nothing. So we get on the highway. We're driving back to our hometown of Raymondville, Texas, and it's flooded. There's water everywhere from the rain that came. To the left, the woods. There used to be a lot of woods and a lot of swampland. So as we're driving home, I noticed it. I noticed that the creature or demon flying from tree to tree, it was following us. And I was trying to tell my parents that it's following us. Uh, they're like, "Oh, you're just scared. What you're seeing is just in your imagination." So no, I see it. It's jumping, coming from tree to tree. It's following us from the side over here. And they were like, "Oh, it's just your imagination." Blah blah blah. It followed us all the way to our hometown. Right? We get to our hometown, and I'm outside. Uh, we get home and it's flooded there a little bit. So I'm outside in the water. The water is up to like knee high, and I'm walking in the backyard. My dad is laying down in the room. I guess from the drive, he was trying to take a nap. I'm in the backyard, and that thing that I seen came out of nowhere. It was flying at full speed, and it ran into the vent of the ceiling of the home. It broke that, and it went inside our attic. So I go and I tell my father the thing is here. It broke the attic vent. It's in the attic. He go out there. Back then as a Mexican, we had our own ladders, homemade ladders made out of wood. And my father grabbed the ladder. He seen the vent was all broken in, and he was like, "Oh, there's nothing here. There's nothing here." I said, "A cat did that." I said, "That was no cat." I said, "How's the cat going to climb the wall?" I said, "That's no cat. That was what I seen. It broke it. All the vent was broken in." He go up there with a flashlight, and he said, "Oh, there's nothing there. There's nothing there." And he got off the ladder. There's nothing there, and left it at that. That evening, brothers and sisters, uh, you know, we have to go to school the following day. It's a Sunday evening. It's like around 2:30 or 3 in the morning, possibly 3:30. I'm asleep on my bunk bed, and I hear my grandmother calling my name. I wake up. We didn't have no lights. We had the lights. You pull the string, right? So I'm asleep on the bunk bed, and I hear my name being called to the window. We had no AC unit, no ceiling fans, just big screen windows. So I get up and I walk to the middle of the room, and I said, "Grandma, is that you?" And she's calling me by my name in Spanish, and she's saying, "Yes, yes, it's me. Come here, come here." She's just telling me to get close to the window. So I'm getting close to the window, and I could see, still grayish outside where it's still dark. And I'm looking, "Grandma, where you at? I can't see you." And she's like, "Come here, get a little." She said, "Get a little bit closer." So I get close, and the screen is like right here. And she's like, "Just get a little bit more closer." So when I get a little bit more closer, that's when the whole screen caves in. I get hit in the head, and I fly backwards. I get knocked out by the blow. So my parents hear the commotion. They get up, turn on the light to see what's going on. They look at me, and I get up. I feel something wet on my face. It's it's because it scratched my face, and I was bleeding all over my face. Uh, then my dad goes gets my grandmother from the house. She wakes up, and she comes trying to figure out what's going on. Uh, and that she comes and brings some medicine, some alcohol and stuff, and asking me what happened. I said she was calling me, and my grandmother like I've been asleep all this time, you know. But I believe that demon or gargoyle was mimicking my grandmother's voice, right? Or a lechuza, but to me it looked like a gargoyle or a demon. So my mom told me you still got to go to school. My mom wasn't into that I couldn't miss any days of school, so they made me go to school. I never got stitches on my face. They wrapped me up in a freaking t-shirt. Blood was sipping through the t-shirt, and that's how I went to school with that wrapped around my head. I go to school and they see the blood coming through the t-shirt on both sides. They send me to the nurse office. They're trying to figure out what happened to me. I was told by my parents not to tell them anything of what happened, just to let them know that if they ask you, tell them that a cat scratched you. So the my P coach, he was a Vietnam vet, Mister Mendiola, and he said, "Son, can you tell us what happened?" And I told him a cat scratched me, and he said, "Bullshit, that was no cat, right?" It stayed that way. But during that week that it followed us, people within our town started getting attacked. Uh, but when my friend is making the movie a Pájaro, right? Because many people describe it differently. So it's called he's making a movie called The Pájaro, the Removille Terror. And I have the scars on my face because now that I'm older, you're able to see them. I think I've showed them here one time where I have the scars that never got stitches. So it healed, but now that I'm getting older, you're able to see the scars that I have from when I guess he tried to take me out the window, you know, but also so small and skinny that the screens from back in the day, they were pretty sturdy of like wire. So I'm thinking the screen might have saved me from getting pulled out of that window. I think it was, definitely trying to take me. Oh yeah, man. I was always looking up, looking around. I mean, yeah, it messed me up, man. And I didn't get no stitches. or nothing. The yeah, it marked me. I got the marks on my face. You can see them right now on the sides. Uh, go up to my eyebrow, like it tried to claw me in the face. Try to, I believe it was trying to take me out the window. But yes, that's what happened to me, brothers and sisters. A true story that happened to me. After that, I started hearing of all the. I heard of a guy that got attacked, that got scratched, or something. Tried to pick him up, uh, scratched him. I think in the chest or in the back. I heard a person that heard my story on a podcast, and then she's from my hometown. She was an FFA. She was riding her horse, and that thing came from the sky and tried to take her. She had scratches from it where he attacked her, tried to lift her off the horse. So many people got affected. There was many sightings all throughout the Rio Grande Valley. It's a true event that happened in the Rio Grande Valley. There was cows found on top of poles. A lot of a lot of people got affected by it. I remember they wouldn't let us go and play like for about a month after many people were citing it and it was attacking people and stuff like that. They wouldn't let us go to the play at the playground or nothing. Our mom wouldn't let us go play outside because of it. But if she only knew that it was in the attic, I never told my mother what had happened. I told my father, but I don't think my father ever told my mother. I believe the nest, his home camp was where it broke into our attic. Shoot, for all you know, it must still be in there. I don't know. Uh, so when that happened, we went back to the ranch after I got attacked. We went back to the ranch. As we went back to the ranch to find out, more about this demon because what happened to me, Chewy was in bed rest. He was all scratched up. He said that that week when everybody was being attacked in the valley, he said that he was out there hunting for deer with his son, and that the demon or gargoyle came, picked him up, and had him up in the sky. It was lifting him, taking him, and that his son shot at it. When he shot at it, that he let him go and he fell to the ground. So he was all jacked up, wrapped up with bandages, and I mean he was scratched up pretty bad. No, compared to what I had, what he had was worse. So no, I think what protected me was, of course, the Heavenly Father, Heavenly Angels, but that screen, those old screens from back in the day, were made out of strong wire. Oh yeah, you can look it up. Texas Learn Me. Look up the pájaro. It'll talk about Rumville, Texas. Look up Google the pájaro Rumville, Texas. It'll have pictures of the newspaper and all kinds of things. Oh, it made all the news there in the Rio Grande Valley. There was another guy that wanted to have an interview with me. He's a good friend of mine, Eddie Monk. He witnessed those big birds off the South Padre Island, and I can't remember. There's like a little island out there, and he said he witnessed them out there that they're pretty huge, you know. But he said he wanted to share that story. One day he wants to come on as a guest. I just need to get a hold of him because I remember that day he was telling everybody where they were at because he was scared of what he witnessed, and it wasn't one of them; it was many of them. And I said, it's got to be more than one for so many people to get attacked. It had to be more than one of them. But in saying that, we're at the 2 hour marker. I hope you enjoyed tonight's live feed. I'm going to try to do 2 hour shows uh, till we get Cousin Jesse back. But if you like this, if you got any questions for me before I go, I hope you like the show. I'll try to beef it up, with some videos and stories. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, I'm I'm gonna make a short reel of the scars that I have on my face. I mean, they're on the sides, you know, but they're not like scars where I had to get stitches. But you can see the scars where I got scratched. There you go. So my buddy is making a movie from what happened back then. Yes, a lot of people got affected by it, brothers and sisters. They just put it this way: they even brought spiritual people to fight spiritually because they thought it was, demonic. The things that were happening there were like demonic. Uh, Being attacked by something that they were seeing disappear, manifest, and disappear in thin air. Yeah, I don't want to keep everybody too late up here tonight. It's 1 or 2 in the morning. I just want to make a quick show, try to beef it up. Like I said, I'm waiting for my co-host for hopefully Thursday or Friday, cousin Jesse to come back. When it's with him, it's. But I'm trying to do my best to keep it going. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. But it's a true event that happened. I think I've shared the one day I did a video here and I shared some pictures of my face. Let me see. I still got the pictures. Let me see real quick. Let me see. I still got the pictures. Let's see. I think the pictures might be on camera. I'll show the pictures, y'all, before I go. What's weird is now that I'm older, you're able to see the marks even more now. Okay, send it to me. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, yeah. I can. You got me. If I talk, I can talk for hours. So I'm trying to keep it limited. So people will be able to get their rest, their beauty sleep. So here we go. I'm gonna share these pictures before I call it. Here we go. Uh, Not her. You can see the marks right here on my face. all the way to the eyebrow on this side, and I got some other marks on this other side where it went all the way to my eyebrow, uh, which that's a pretty good capture right there. Go. I don't know. This one you can see they look here, but they look faint. You can't really see it. You can see where it goes up all the way to the eyebrow, the one that comes from the head all the way down. But I think the best capture would be this one, where you can see the two marks here, and then on this side I have some other two marks over here. Uh, let me see if I get another photo like that, real quick before I go. Let me see. I think I got a one that shows it more defined, more better than that. All right, let's show them. I sent a couple of more. Let me go to y'all. Let me get out of here. Let me show. Let me share the other pictures. I got some more. That's where it clawed me on the face. So you can see the scar right there, and that's a scar that healed with no stitches. No stitches. I think I got a little bit on the other side where it clawed me over here too. It got me wide here and here. You can see them right there to the eye. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, there you go, brothers and sisters. Yeah. So that's my evidence of my story. It's a true story. Yeah, I had there's four marks on my face, but those on the that's where it scared me. That's the side that was bleeding the most. Oh, the scar is definitely there, Clint. Yeah, that's the one that I was showing you that's deeper. That's the one that it scratched me the most. But what saved me was the screen windows from back in the day that were made out of wire. They were pretty thick. It still ripped it to shreds, but I believe it saved me, even though I still got scratched, but it still saved me from being pulled out of there. In saying that, I want to say thank you for those that tune in. If you want to check out the scars again, you can watch the replay, go back to the ending. Uh, Thank y'all, brothers and sisters, for tuning in to spiritual encrypted encounters. Uh, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I got my rebel is here for a treat. There you go. You're welcome, Sister Lisa. I hope you enjoyed the show. I try to beef it up as much as I could. I most likely could go for another hour, but tomorrow, join us tomorrow for Werewolf Wednesday, or join me tomorrow for Werewolf Wednesday. I got a lot of stories of that also, of encounters that I had that happened to me in Elms Grove. Uh, Came out. If you haven't seen it, This Woods Are Haunted, season 3, episode 2. Something is out there, not human. I had an encounter in Elms Grove with 6 of them. But at the time frame, it was 3 in the morning. So to me, there would be more of demonic nature. So that's something for Wednesday is Werewolf Wednesday. But I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I'll try to make it interesting, say some stories, show some short reels. Uh, but I hope y'all enjoyed it tonight. Love you, brother Clint. And saying that, brothers and sisters, everybody have a beautiful, blessed evening. Is there anybody that needs prayer before I go? That might be going through something that needs prayer. As a matter of fact, we would say a prayer before we go. Before I go, uh, Heavenly Father, at this time I would like to pray for all my brothers and sisters here that are tuning in, that viewed some of the short reels. We tie bind and rebuke any negative energies that might be coming from the short reels. You're not allowed to affect anybody that's viewing. We tie bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. We place 70 crosses on us from head to toe, and we place 70 crosses on our windows and our doorways. Send your heavenly angels and Holy Spirit to do a clean sweep of our immediate home and our foundation or vessel, Heavenly Father. Get rid of any negative attachments or unclean spirits. We tie, bind, and rebuke any witchcraft or necromancy done by anybody. We don't accept it. We send it back to the sender because we don't accept any form of negativity. We pray for anybody that might be sick, for you, Heavenly Father, to send your heavenly angels of healing and heal them, um, and angels of blessings. This I pray in your name, Heavenly Father. Amen. Good night, everybody. God bless y'all.